And in this video, I'll be giving you 5 pieces of advice on marriage separation. These are from lessons I've learned during my separation. Now, there are 2 types of people looking at this video. Those that are looking into marriage separation and they're not separated yet, and those that are already separated. And my advice is going to be applicable to both. And at the end of the video, I'll pass along a special piece of advice for those of you that have had an unfaithful spouse, or even think that your spouse might have been unfaithful. Now, even though this did not happen to me, this information I received was so special, I've included it in my marriage separation survival course for my students. But I want to pass it on to you. Hi, my name is John McKenzie, and welcome to Kingdom Principles. Now, on this channel, we'll be discussing all things in regarding marriage separation, whether you're just going into it, already separated and trying to save your marriage, or just finalizing your divorce. This channel is for you. Your source of info on surviving your marriage separation. And if you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe and click on the notification bell. Then you'll be notified when we upload any new videos. Now, click on the link down in the description to get our free report on the 7 things not to do when going through a marriage separation. Now, let's get into the video. Number 1, marriage separation is a very emotional time. And whatever point you're at, whether it's before starting separation or you're already into it, you're going to need a support system of at least one person you can talk to and that you trust. Because there are going to be times when you feel lost and alone, and you're going to need that someone to talk to. Because marriage separation is probably going to be one of the tougher things that you ever go through in your life. Number 2, realize that when you're going through a marriage separation and divorce, you'll also be going through what's called the 7 stages of grief. Just like when someone dies and the person goes through grief of losing them, it's also the same way when you're going through a marriage separation and a divorce. You're going to be going through those 7 stages of grief. The first one is desperate for answers why. Number 2 is denial. Number 3 is bargaining. Number 4 is relapse. Number 5 is anger. Number 6 is initial acceptance. And number 7 is redirected hope. Now these affect you from the moment you decide to separate or you're told that your spouse is leaving you. And it can affect you for months, even years to come. Now I'll be doing a video on this in the future, but until then, Google is your friend on this one. Now, there's no particular order that these steps will affect you in. And there's also no standard of how hard they may or may not affect you. Even the official act of divorce does not cut off these feelings. The only thing that has much effect on it is time and how you actually deal with each one. Having your support system in place as you go through this will be invaluable. And just on a side note, be cautious of those that would tell you to jump right into the dating scene while you're separated. And all the other unsolicited advice from everyone when they find out you're separated. Use your instinct and common sense. Number 3. Now, it would be a good idea to shut down or not post about your situation on social media. And especially avoid posting any of the custody battles, disputes, or any of the family issues. Just realize that these could be used against you in court, and also could cause mutual friends to take sides. Number 4, what you should not do. You shouldn't give up. If you love your spouse and are willing to put in the effort, there is hope. Now, there's a misconception that once you're separated, all you can look forward to is a divorce, that there's no real chance of saving your marriage. Well, I'm here to tell you that's wrong. There is a chance if you're willing to take it. I'm living proof. Now, there did not seem any way of salvaging what I had lost when we separated. I had screwed up so bad. But I still love my wife and my kids. And at first I worked on her to have her and the kids come back. But it wasn't until I started working on myself that I learned if one of the two people in the relationship are willing to go all in and work on themselves and on their relationship, that there's a chance of rebuilding the relationship. And even if you do divorce, there's nothing saying it cannot be an amicable relationship because of what you've done to improve yourself. Number 5, focus on what's best for the children. They're the ones caught in the middle between both spouses. They're the one that needs reassurance from both parents that this is not their fault, that they are and always will be loved. Now realize, kids aren't dumb. They know something's going on, that there's a problem. So be honest with them. But make sure you talk to them at their level of maturity about the situation. You're not going to give a 3-year-old the same information you give a 16-year-old. Now don't use your children as weapons in the war between you both. Try to work out fair and equitable time for you both to have access to the kids. Having a system involving all things to do with the kids will make it easier for the both of you. Remember, you have to co-parent for years with your spouse. So try to make it as easy as possible on them and on you. Now realize, how long is it till your youngest reaches 18? Well, this is the minimum amount of time you'll be doing this. So do you want to be in a constant state of strife with your spouse for that many years? Then deal with it before your divorce, in your separation agreement. Now, if you need help on that, see our video on separation agreements linked at the end. And at last, number 6, our special piece of advice. For those of you that have had an unfaithful spouse, or even think that your spouse might have been unfaithful. Now, this is not one I've experienced, but it's some advice from a doctor, which I now give all my students in my marriage separation survival course. He was surprised at how many people in that situation did not think of this. So if you found out that your spouse was unfaithful, or may have been unfaithful, it would be a good idea to be checked out by a doctor for any STDs, because you don't know what in their unfaithfulness that they may have picked up and passed on to you. And if you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe and click on the notification bell. Then you'll be notified when we upload any new videos. Now, click on the link down in the description to get our free report on the 7 things not to do when going through a marriage separation. Our subscribe button is up here in the corner. And please check out our videos.